just like to throw a sword through somebody? You know? Who's gonna say something?
And that proves that the so-called Jews in the Holy Land now, these false imposters, that proves that they're not the real children of the Most High.
Right.
Because once the real children of the Most High get into that land, then that's when war is going to stop on the planet Earth. These devils are in the land right now, and you got Netanyahu still pushing threats on Iran. So war is still going. It's still going, man. So that proves that these people are not the true Jews, man. You know. 2 and 9. You'll grab it.
This is Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
Yeah, it says he knows our works, tribulation and poverty, the things that the real Israelites went through, all right? With slavery, all right, the mass genocide that the so-called white man has perpetrated against our people since the late 1400s, all right, and our poverty. The poorest people on the earth is this nation right here, all right? The poorest country in the Western Hemisphere is Haiti, man. That's the tribe of Levi, all right? Keep going.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are the Jews and are not.
I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. All right, because that's a filthy, wicked lie that the so-called white man came up with. That he's a Jew, he's an Israelite. He doesn't follow any of the laws that's in the Bible. He doesn't follow the Torah. All right, that's the book of Israel, the law, right? They deal with the Talmud and the Kabbalah, which those are satanic witchcraft books, man. It teaches you how to worship Satan. I think in the Talmud it says you can have sex with an underage boy, man, a little young boy.
They say that you circumcise a little boy by sucking on his penis. A newborn baby.
They doing that now, yeah.
That's how you cleanse a baby.
Most of them do that now.
It's wicked as hell,
Nasty
man.
little
And then the little, there was a scandal that broke out up in New York. The rabbi was doing that. He gave one of the little baby herpes. He dropped dead, man.
Baby dropped dead.
The immune system couldn't handle it, man. The baby dropped dead. He was sucking on a little baby penis, man. That's some wicked ass shit, man.
nasty mouth.
Keep going.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue of Satan. Synagogue means chief house, and Satan means adversary. The so-called Jew, they're the main enemy of these so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Israelites, right? Like the brother was going into, they're the one that funded the slave trade. And they funded Columbus's trip to the New World, as well as the conquistadors that came over here and slaughtered the rest of the Northern Kingdom, man.
That's right. That's right.
The so-called white man, he did a diligent searching out for where the Israelites were, man. He had all type of anthropologists that was coming over here, linguists that was coming over here. Oh, these people, they speak in a form of Hebrew. These are the Israelites. Look at their customs. There's plenty of documentation on there, right? For you stupid ass black consciousness niggas, man, that just completely skip over that history. They sent scholars to West Africa, where that's where Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were dwelling at. They were keeping Hebrew customs, man. They were speaking in the Shemitic tongue, all right? They had Shemitic dialect. They word constructs were Shemitic in nature, man. Proving that they came from the Middle East, all right? They weren't Hamites, all right? The book, I got the book, it's the Hebrews of West Africa. They got a picture, a drawing of one of the, he's a priest. He had the ephod on, man, with the diamonds, with the different stones in there, just like Hausa has right here. They was wearing this in the west coast of Africa, man. This is an Israelite custom, all right? No other nation wore stuff like that, because we were the only ones that received the laws from the Heavenly Father, all right? So that proves that they were Israelites, man.
But just for a quick edification, that's like the birthstones.
Each month.
This is Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them.
I'm just gonna keep it on and tell me to keep it on.
This is Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are the Jews and are not.
They will say they are Jews and are not. They're not the real Israelites. They line goes back to Esau. They're the Edomites, all right? Which they don't want to claim that. They don't want that. Didn't want that information to get out, but the information's out there, all right? So you read about Esau in the Bible, it doesn't speak good about Esau. The scriptures tell you that at the end of the days, Esau is going to be exterminated. So who the hell, why would you want to be an Edomite? So that's why they try to sweep that under the rug, man. And then they stole our heritage because the promises that were given to the Israelites, those are great promises, man. These people going to rule the earth. All right?
But do lie. Behold,
Yep.
I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
That's right. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. So those so-called Jews, they're going to bow down to us, man. Just like this picture depicts. All right? In the near future, after America's destroyed, all these nations, they're going to bow down to us, right? It's we the gods of the earth, man. We the real rulers of the earth. We're going to be your new landlords, man. And you so-called white people, hey, man, you got to pay for the atrocities that you committed against the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right? Slavery. Matter of fact, get Revelation 13, 9, and 10. Let's bring that scripture out. The reason why America's going to be destroyed, one of the main reasons, is because this is the captivity of the Israelites, man. All right?
This is Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Yep.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into
He
captivity.
that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Meaning, if you lead someone into slavery, you have to go into slavery. Now, it's a fact that the so-called white man has led all these tribes into captivity, all right? When the conquistadors came over here, they put Issachar in slavery, man. They put all those tribes in slavery. Gad was in slavery.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the
Yeah,
sword.
how was this nation obtained? Were there people here before the so-called white man came here? Yes. It's not like the so-called white man's got off the boat and it's just a vast land, there weren't no people on it. That's what he'd have you believe. Oh, this is getting land.
Came to Plymouth Rock and the natives there, because everybody knows what the school books tell you. Hey, the natives like, hey, come on, this land is your land, this land is our land. No, that's what they sung after they conquered you and took your land from you. That was the song that they chanted amongst their own people to make it all right with them coming over and taking over.
Yeah, they make it seem like Gadites just came, told you couldn't get off the boat. Oh, this is your land. Oh, you want us to move west? Okay, we'll move west for you guys. Oh, you need us to keep going? Okay, yeah, we'll do that. You cool guys.
We liked it over here, but
Yeah,
for you guys, we just keep going.
that's bullshit, man. The history of America and the establishment of this country is very bloody, man. Millions, it's estimated that 77 million Native Americans just on this soil alone in this country, America, was massacred and murdered just to establish this place, man.
Right.
So who's gonna pay for that? So if a nigga run up to a so-called white man's house and kill him, kill the family, then he gotta go to jail, man. So where's the justice for the things that happen to us? All right?
Here's the
This
patience.
is the justice. Read it again from the top.
It's Revelations 9 and 13.
This is going to be the justice
13
that the
and 10.
Israelites are going to get, all right?
Revelations 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into
Yeah,
captivity.
so all the people that put us in slavery, we're going to put them in slavery. So at one time, all nations had Israel in slavery at one point in time. The Moabites, called the Chinese, the Ammonites, so-called Japanese, those Hamites, all right? And the latest captivity that we're in right now just so happens to be under the so-called white man. So we're going to put all those nations in slavery. And that's justice, all right? And the scriptures tell you the things that the so-called white man did to us over here, we're going to do that unto them double, man. So those lynchings, all those using our babies for alligator bait, hanging the pregnant Native American woman upside down, cutting her womb open, and stomping on the baby. Not feeding the dogs that they brought over here any meat. The only thing that they dogs would eat was the Native Americans that was over here, man. And we're going to do that unto you double. That's what the scripture says. Right? Keep going.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the
That's
sword.
right. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, right?
Must.
Get Numbers, the 35th chapter. Got it? It's the spirit. Say, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So the way this country was established, that has to happen to you so-called white people. You got to get slaughtered and massacred, all right? Read it out.
Here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's right. That's one of the reasons why we out here teaching this word, man. We want to get the opportunity to put these nations in slavery, man. We want payback and vengeance on the so-called white man for what he did to our nation, man. All right? And it's going to happen. All right? As long as we keep the faith, the Most High is going to allow us to enslave and exact vengeance and revenge on all these non-Israelite nations, man. All right?
The book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. Keep going.
For blood it defileth the land.
It says that blood defiles the land. Now, America's filled with blood, man. Like I just brought up, it said 77 estimated, which the number is probably higher than that. But it's estimated that 77 million, all right? Not thousands, not hundreds, million. 77 million Native Americans was killed on the soils of America, man. So the scriptures tell you that blood defiles the land. So this land is defiled. How do you cleanse this land of that blood? Bring it out.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
And who shed the Native Americans' blood on this soil? The so-called white man. All right? And you can't say that, oh, it's just the upper echelons of the so-called white man society. So over in California, they have bounties for Native American scalps, man. Edomites was getting rich off that shit. Going around and murdering Indians and taking their scalp, man. They'd pay you $5 for that back then, man. And that was a lot of money during the 1800s, man. You can get rich and establish yourself off of murdering Native Americans, man.
Isn't that where they get the Redskins from?
Yup. You got a football team named after it, man. Showing you that you don't give a fuck about these people on the side, man.
Right.
Then you get mad at the Native Americans when they tell you that's a racist mascot, man.
They're fighting tooth and nail and keep it that way.
I got a this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
That's right, all they that devour us shall be devoured, all right? The scriptures tell you that there's no nation that didn't have a part in our downfall, man. So every nation is going to get a foot up their ass, all right? Keep going.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity.
Every one of them shall go into captivity, all right? So if you're not an Israelite, hey, you fucked pretty much, all right? And the next age, the next ruling, we are set up ruling, you're gonna go into captivity, as the scripture said, all right? We're gonna put chains around your neck. Y'all ain't got the sign now. Yeah. That pissed these people off out here. They don't like seeing Esau with chains on his neck, man. So-called white
Well,
man.
he got something on this one.
Well, yeah.
It ain't enough, though.
It's not as graphic as the other one.
He all
I
beat
have a
up.
question. So when it say 1,000 years, that means all the nations going for 1,000 years, we're going to lighten up that yoke after 1,000? Or does that mean the complete number is going to keep going?
No, it's going to be 1,000 years. And after that, we're going to give nations their land back. And after that 1,000-year period, we're going to exterminate Esau. But it ain't going to be like like a year goes by in this time. The Most High is going to slow time down when we get in power, all right? The scriptures tell you he's speeding the time up so these prophecies can come to pass faster. So when we get in the kingdom, time's going to be slow, man. The day might be, 48 hours, man. We might have 48 hours of sunlight just to go in and beat the shit out of so-called white men. I don't know how you're going to survive the first day, man. We're going to go to town on the so-called white people.